Okay, so today we shall discuss about simple harmonic motion, a graphical representation of simple harmonic motion. Okay, so let us consider a particle starts from here. Let us imagine this is a particle which is starting from here where time t is equal to 0 here, and after a certain time the particle is at this place. Let us imagine. Now here, if you imagine this as a red color as a particle and blue color as its y component, here there are the two axes which we need to consider here. One axis is xo x dash, which is called as x axis, and the other one is yo and y dash, which is called as y axis here. Okay, so when the particle is at this place and its component is here, the particle moves in an anti-clockwise direction here, and the component of y-axis will move up when the particle is coming down in a anti-clockwise direction. If you observe here, so blue color is the particle and red color is its component along the y-axis. So component is going to take to and fro motion. Same takes place in x-axis also. The component will move in x-axis along to and fro motion. So this process will continue here. Therefore, you all know angular velocity omega is equal to angular displacement by time here. Angular velocity omega is equal to angular displacement by time here. Therefore, angular displacement theta can be taken as omega into t. So we can consider this part as theta, which is equal to omega into t. So this part is considered as x component here, and this part is considered as y component here. Okay, if this is y, this is also y, because this is a rectangular component. In this rectangular component, opposite sides are going to be same here. Okay, so when opposite sides are going to be same, let us see what is going to happen now. So in this process, first of all, we need to consider the graphical representation. To and fro motion means what here? So the particle is moving to and fro, up and down like this, to and fro like this. It is going to be a simple harmonic motion in this case. Okay, it is just like an oscillation of a pendulum here. So now you are just applying the concept of trigonometrical ratios, that is sine omega t. So if you write sine omega t opposite side, and this is going to be the radius of the circle, which is also equal to the amplitude. What do you mean by amplitude here? Amplitude means, first of all, what is the mean position in this case? Okay, so this point is considered as mean position, and this point is considered as extreme position. Okay, so the distance between the mean position and extreme position is called as amplitude. So this is going to be the amplitude here. Okay, this is going to be the amplitude here, and this amplitude is nothing but the radius of the circle. Both are going to be same here. Therefore we can write here sine omega t. Sine omega t can be taken as opposite side y by hypotenuse a here. Therefore we can write y is equal to a sine omega into t here. Understand? This is the displacement here. Whatever we are doing here, we are finding the concept of displacement. We are finding displacement in this case. So now we got displacement here. So displacement along the y-axis. So when the particle is at this place, we are dropping a perpendicular here and here. So these two are making 90 degrees here. We are dropping the perpendicular on x-axis. We are dropping the perpendicular on y-axis also. Therefore, we can write like this. So y is equal to a sin omega t. Similarly, displacement along the x-axis is considered as cos omega t. So this is cos omega t, which can be taken as x by a here. So x is equal to a cos omega into t. X is equal to a cos omega into t. So finally, we are getting the two equations as displacement here. So this is the displacement along the x-axis and y-axis here. Next, so once we got the displacement, can we find the velocity? Yes, we can find the velocity also. So here, now we shall find out what is the velocity of the particle. How are we going to find out the velocity of the particle here? So to find out the velocity of the particle and the velocity along the tangential direction, which is called as linear velocity, that is going to be constant here. That is going to be constant in an anti-clockwise direction. How are you going to find out the velocity? So for finding the velocity, what you need to do is you have to just differentiate the displacement either along y-axis or x-axis. Let us consider y-axis displacement. You know that y is equal to a sine omega t. Therefore, velocity can be taken as a dy by dt. So we have to differentiate a sine omega t now. So a is going to be constant. Then we have to differentiate sine omega t first, and we have to differentiate once again omega into t. Angle also we have to differentiate once again. Then what are we going to get? Let us see. So slowly if you differentiate, you know that this is a. Differentiation of sine omega t will become cos omega into t here. So omega is going to be constant. We write dt by dt. Omega is outside, dt by dt will be inside. So this is getting cancelled now. So what is velocity here? So velocity is nothing but a omega cos omega t. So this is going to be the velocity, which is called as a omega cos omega t. So if this is going to be the velocity, let us find out. This is the velocity in terms of trigonometric functions here. Now let us find out the velocity in terms of variables. So whatever we got now, I am going to write here, that is, we got velocity as a omega cos omega t. Can we represent this velocity in terms of variables here? What are you going to do now? You are just writing the velocity as a omega square root of cos square omega t, because square and cos is getting cancelled here, cos omega t is left here. So v is equal to a omega. So cos square omega t can be written as 1 minus sin square omega t. And you all know sin omega t is equal to y by a. Okay, since sin omega t is going to be y by a, which is present here, so sin omega t is nothing but y by a. So you substitute here now. So v is equal to a omega square root of 1 minus sin square omega t. Sin square omega t means y square by a square. Y square by a square. So v is equal to a omega square root of a square minus y square by a square. So if you take an LCM here, getting this equation now, a square and root gets cancelled, then a will come out of the root here. What happens now? So this is a square minus y square whole divided by a. So therefore a and a gets cancelled. Then what is left here? Therefore v will become omega into square root of a square minus y square. So this is the another formula for finding the velocity when amplitude and displacements are given here. So this is going to be the displacement, this is going to be the amplitude here. So next finally we are getting an equation which is v is equal to omega into square root of a square minus y square. This is representing the velocity here. Okay, so the next point which we need to discuss here is acceleration. So how are we going to find out an acceleration here? Okay, so we will find out the acceleration in this case now. Okay, so we shall find out an acceleration. Before that, let us divide this into two parts, two sections, so that it will eliminate the confusion here. Okay, so here we need to find out an acceleration. So how are we going to find out an acceleration in this case here? Let us see. So to find out an acceleration, first thing we need to do is, first of all, you need to write the formula for velocity. Velocity is equal to a omega cos omega t, and acceleration will become dv by dt, which is equal to d by dt of a omega cos omega t. So acceleration is equal to a omega is going to be constant. Then we have to differentiate cos omega t here, and also differentiate omega t separately here, because angle also we have to differentiate. Then a is equal to a omega, differentiation of cos omega t will become minus sin omega t, and differentiation of omega will be constant here. Dt by dt is left, this is getting cancelled here. So acceleration is equal to, this minus will come here, and a omega into omega will become omega square, and this is going to be sin omega t here, sin omega t. And you know y is equal to a sin omega t from this formula which you have written here. Therefore what we need to do is, acceleration will become minus omega square, a sin omega t can be taken as y here, a sin omega t can be taken as y here. So therefore finally we got this as the formula. Next, we need to find out what is maximum velocity. How are we going to find out the maximum velocity here? So maximum velocity, and we need to find out what is maximum acceleration also. So these two things we need to find out here, maximum velocity and maximum acceleration. So how are we going to find out a maximum velocity and maximum acceleration? Let us see here step by step process. Okay, so for finding the maximum acceleration and maximum velocity, first of all, where is the velocity maximum here in a simple harmonic motion? So at this place, at the mean position here, velocity is going to be maximum here. At the mean position, at this place, velocity is going to be maximum, and at this position velocity is going to be 0 here. Okay, that is minimum and 0. At this place also velocity is going to be minimum, and that is going to be 0 here. Okay, so where is the velocity maximum? Let us see here. So velocity is maximum at displacement is equal to 0. Velocity is maximum at displacement is equal to 0. So therefore V can be taken as V maximum here. Omega is written like that only. This is a square minus 0 square. So V maximum can be taken as omega. This is a square. A and root gets cancelled. Square and root gets cancelled. Therefore the formula for maximum is omega into a. This is the formula for velocity maximum. Okay. So this is the formula for velocity maximum. Now we shall discuss about what is maximum acceleration here. See, acceleration is maximum where it is maximum at this place. At this place acceleration is maximum, okay, and at this place acceleration is minimum. So acceleration is minimum at the mean position but maximum at the extreme position, because slowly velocity will increase from mean to extreme. Okay, so slowly velocity will increase from extreme to mean here. Velocity will increase. Okay, increase in velocity will take place from extreme to mean here. So therefore acceleration is maximum at extreme position, whereas velocity is maximum at mean position. Therefore here we can write the step that is acceleration is maximum at displacement is equal to amplitude. That means at this place where acceleration is maximum, displacement is going to become amplitude here. Amplitude is nothing but the distance between the mean position to the extreme position. This is going to be an extreme position. This distance is taken as amplitude, which is shown here. So displacement is nothing but amplitude. These are all nothing but amplitudes here. Radius will become amplitude in this case. So acceleration is maximum at displacement y is equal to a. Therefore we can write acceleration maximum is equal to minus omega square into a here. Okay, so this is the formula which we have written here. So we got the formula for maximum acceleration and maximum velocity also. Hope you have understood the graphical representation here.